So let's talk a little bit about Ipswich Town. Big chance again for you. Like you said, you're going in there as the main man. They've paid big money for you, so you're going to be the manager's first choice. How did it sort of settle for you?
Again, it just hit the ground running. Marcus Stewart was my partner. We had Matt Holland as captain. The players, again, as I said, around me were Premiership players that had done it, seen it. They just played. Titus Bramble just played Inter Milan.
Darren Ambrose as
Darren
well.
Ambrose, but again, we'll get to Darren Ambrose and we'll get to Darren Bent. But they weren't in the team at that point. They were coming through. So anyway, that season quickly started scoring goals. Got Premiership Player of the Month, top scorer in the team. Towards the end of the season, the squad wasn't as tight. Sorry, not as tight. Wasn't as big as it should be. A few injuries and stuff. So we started bringing the likes of Darren Ambrose through, Darren Bent through. Darren Ambrose, what a player. Both feet, technically gifted. They all kind of gravitated towards me. Why, I don't know. I was just always confident and wanted the best out of them. And then Darren Bent came through. And I remember the manager saying, I think we played at Anfield, look after him, take him under your wing. I think Marcus Stewart was injured at the point. And he came on and done really well. And that was the making of Darren Bent.
People always think you and Darren Bent are related. How many times have you been asked, is he a relation of yours?
Again, you're asking me again for the 1000th time. What I will say, for the record, I don't think that we are brothers or family, but our families are from St. Lucia, St. Elizabeth, in Jamaica. And I mean, it's a small island, so who knows? I don't know, but we are brothers in arms, and I love him, and we always talk to each other when we can. Yeah.
Talk to me about that Ipswich squad. Talk to me about the camaraderie, the dressing room, and the players that made that squad what it was.
Again, it wasn't a Liverpool. I shouldn't say Liverpool because Everton fans are going to hit me again. But it wasn't an Arsenal. It wasn't a Man United. It's a team that are striving for better things. They're a team that work, don't get me wrong, and so do other teams, and so do the big teams. But at this club, it was a homely club, and probably from Port Vale through to Ipswich. They're family clubs, you know, very family orientated. So we play for each other, we go out with each other. Our wives socialise with each other. It's a very small town, which was good for me because I wanted to be grounded at some point. I wanted to find some true friends. I wanted to find some true teammates. But then again, the club went into administration. And
you was on fire as well.
I was.
9 goals from 22 starts, player of the month for I think January in the Premier League.
Yeah. Again, frustrating. You kind of, like I said, hit the floor running, and then you have to pull the brakes on. Your confidence maybe goes, or you start doubting yourself. I would never say I doubted myself, but you are concerned about where your next goal is going to come and how your team's playing.
How did the conversation come about then that the club would have to sell you to keep afloat, if you like, with the administrative situation?
Well, I think at that point where the club went down, we went down. I shouldn't say the club. We went down in administration. Again, it's time to move on. I didn't get sold. I went out on loan. I went to Leicester. who were in the Premiership.
Would that be because you had such a sort of high wage bill with you, like that the club had to get you off the wage bill?
If you could say that. Yeah, you're probably honest by saying that. Yeah, definitely. Get me off the wage bill. And it was a breath of fresh air. Well, not a breath of fresh air, but it was a breath of fresh air to play back in the Premiership because, again, no disrespect to the Championship or the First Division at that point. It's day in, day out. It's Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday. Sorry, not Saturday, Sunday. You're not going to play 2 games in a row. But if you get my drift, it's constant. It's hard. It's hard to get out of the Championship. It is very grueling.
Physically demanding. And again, going through administration and being frustrated again, it makes it harder to score goals, to not give your all, but show what you can be, how you can be. Did Mickey Adams take you on loan to Leicester?
He did again.
Wow.
He did again.
That's our first.
Do you know what I've never really thought about it like that. He's literally been my, and we're going to get to it again later on in the conversation. But yeah, he took me to Leicester. I remember getting there on I think it was a Wednesday night. We were playing Leeds. I didn't even have time. I think I signed that day or the day before. Stayed in the hotel. You're playing, etc. Bam. Got man in a match. I think I scored. I can't remember. But there was a player for Leeds, a Brazilian player, who was quoted the best player in the world. I'm smiling because he weren't when I was there. Nah, I broke him down. Can't remember his name. Should I? But whatever. Anyway, yeah, so standing ovation, man in the match. So it started well again. Hit the ground running. Jordan Stewart was my best mate there. He came through the ranks. We was roomies. Matty Elliott, skipper. Frank Sinclair, Ian Walker, good mate.
Frank Sinclair, what a top man Frank Sinclair is. We've had him on the channel.
Yeah, he put me onto you.
Good man. Frank.
He put me onto you, my good mate. Impey.
Andy Impey, yeah.
Andy Impey. Ben Thatcher was down there. Muzzy Is It.
Anyone we spoke to about Muzzy Is It, he's just such a great player, very underrated, so technical.
Literally just played in a tournament up at Leicester, the Walker Stadium. Don't get me wrong, he's not as quick and as sharp as he used to be, but oh my goodness, technically gifted, absolute legend. And I was thinking last night about my first 11. I'm not going to tell you, but I was thinking, who would I put in my first 11? And he is definitely it would be in midfield, yeah, that good.
Do you wish you had longer at Leicester City? Do you think it was a club that you could have become more attached to over time, or were you happy to move on when the chance came on?
Again, and this is the problem. Here we go again. So, I should say Paul Dickoff. Paul Dickoff is my mentor. I love him. Man City legend, was at Leicester. Taught me how to work as a forward, but with your team. Hard work and honesty. Absolute legend, actually, Paul Dickoff. Yeah, so we had a chance to stay up. We had 3 games left. We had Wolves, Tottenham, one more team. We were 3-0 up at Wolves at half-time. We then lost. We were 3-0 up against Tottenham. We lost.
You scored a great goal in that game as well.
Yes.
I remember that.
I'm trying to think of the other side. I can't remember. Again, long time ago. But yeah, it was frustrating. But we went down. Mickey Adams asked me to stay. He actually offered me more money to stay. Everton came at, end of the season, we played Everton, and I scored the winning goal against Everton. I had my little girl at that point, Leah. So I celebrated with my celebration with my little girl. But yeah, scored against Everton. And then season finished. Mickey said he wanted me to stay. Offered me more money than Everton did. But again, it was my dream, my focus, my transition, my journey. I had to go even further up north now.
David Moyes signed you for Everton. Big signing for the club. Did you wear the number 9 shirt for Everton?
No, I wore number 7.
Number 7.
Number 7. So basically, I was taking Wayne's place. Wayne was going to United, but he had the metatarsal injury.
No pressure on you then.
No pressure. No pressure. But again, I shout. Sorry. But again, there's always pressure, but pressure near. It didn't really affect me in that way. Like I wasn't. You know, I knew what I was doing. I was growing. I was growing. I was maturing as I went along. And at this point, I feel like I'm an established player now. I've played in all competitions, scoring goals in the Premiership, in the Championship, moved how many clubs for the price of how much, I don't know.
I think you've probably racked up about £7 or £8 million worth of transfer fees by this point.
Okay, but in this day and age, £7 million is not a lot of money. But yeah, it was exciting. It was my girlfriend at the time, and we were always moving. Respect to her, dealing with my travelling and hot-headedness and etc. Her name's Kelly. And then my daughter's name's Aaliyah. But going to Everton, and I think the first game we played was against Arsenal. I didn't start. We lost. I think the season before, Everton hadn't done so well. So then the kind of pressure added up. Okay, I've got to come in and do something now. I started the next game. Again, standing ovation, scored a goal. And it just went on from there. I remember Moyes calling me up from the bench, looking at me. I'm all nervous and not scared, but nervous. I mean, butterflies. I mean, however you want to see it. I knew what I needed to do. Literally stood by the sideline, and he said, "Just run your heart out. Give the fans everything that they want, and just do the best you can." And again, standing ovation, done really well. That season, after the Arsenal game, we came third, beating Liverpool for the first time, and I think it was 10 years. Timmy Cahill scored at Anfield.
Wow. That must have been massive to be
massive. Again, I've scored at Anfield before with the likes of Crystal Palace and Leicester. But just having a derby game against Liverpool, playing for Everton and winning that game, you just instantly became, I'm not going to say legends. Legends is a big word. Respected. I'm going to say you became respected, yeah.
Sort of club heroes, if you like.
Yeah, again, I don't want to go too far and say club heroes, because there are club heroes, you know, the likes of Duncan Ferguson, Tim Cahill.
Was Duncan Ferguson in the round of squad when you was there?
Yes, he was, yeah.
What was he like?
Top man. I remember getting to the training ground. I was in the hotel the night before, and I was in the bar with my agent. Dunk was in the bar, wasn't drinking, just having food, and got to the training ground. He said hello to me, but he wasn't. He's a very closed guy. Doesn't say much unless he knows you. So I said to McFadden, "Why does Dunk not say hello or not speak?" He said, "Because he doesn't know you. He needs to work you out." Excuse my language, shit, okay. So it took me probably about 2 to 3 weeks to actually get his confidence, his...
What, he just wouldn't acknowledge you until...
No, he acknowledged me.
He wouldn't have it with you.
Yeah, he would just standoffish. Which I'm used to from my upbringing. So you got
a moment that changed it around.
You got to earn respect.
Was there a moment that changed it around? I just think it was a gradual earning.
Gradual. So he saw that I was coming in and I was working hard. I wanted to do well. I wasn't just coming in. Again, wasn't about the money, but I was about the team. It wasn't just I. And that's what I learned from a lot of the Everton team, management, coaches, backroom staff, cooks. A lot of them my friends now. And that's what I learned off Dunk. And Dunk and I we speak. He's a good friend of mine. One thing he used to say, see, he wasn't playing at that point. He was just kind of training, and I suppose it was one up front. I was playing consistently.
Cahill sort of playing off you as well.
So Tim was playing off me. Ozzy came in, was playing just in the midfield there. You had Gravison, you had Carsley. Who else? McFadden would be on the left, buzzing around from right to the left.
Was Phil Neville there at that point?
Phil wasn't there at that point. Phil came the season after. But Dunk used to, after training sessions, I don't want to swear, but he used to say, "On fucking fire, son."
Was he from Newcastle?
No, it wasn't. That was the wrong freaking accent. That was the wrong accent. He's from Newcastle.
I thought he was Scottish.
Sorry, but yeah, okay, my bad. But it sounded like that anyway. I've been away for. But what are you? On fire, on fucking fire, son. On fucking fire, son. Anyway, yeah, on fucking fire, son. Oh, I love it. I used to go in like, shoulders high. Oh, Dunk's told me I'm on fire, whatever. Go into the weekend, and it was a buzz having him alongside me, and Kevin Campbell, another legend for Arsenal.
Top man, Kevin.
Top man. It could have got to the point where I was a youngster coming in and not on their level, but it was just a circle of people that just fought and just backed each other. Richard Wright, who I knew from Ipswich, goalkeeper, wasn't playing at the time. Nigel Martin was the main man in goal. Stubber. If I'm leaving anyone out, I apologise.
Stubbs was a great player.
Oh, what a player.
Great player.
Don't get me wrong, not as quick over the top, but listen, if you're going to get over the top or behind him, then you've got to do some work to get behind him. But technically, ball-wise, skipper, captain, just awesome. Taught me, again, how to be a mature player. So anyway, we came third that season, so it was an achievement in itself. First time I've been third in a Premiership side. Yeah. So anyway, we come back from pre-season, been on our holidays, and everyone got given a contract except me.
Did the manager, David Moyes, tell you face to face that you weren't getting a contract?
No, he didn't tell me that, no. So I come in, all buzzing. I spoke to some of the boys through the off-season. Their business, their contract's their contract. We're not going to really talk about that. It was just having a nice time. So I come in, and anyway, I can't remember who I spoke to, and they said, yeah, all the boys have just got a new contract. I said, what do you mean, all the boys? They said, the whole squad has just got a new contract. What, did you? I said, no. So at that point, I just got deflated. My heart went, not my passion went, but... So anyway, I go upstairs and... don't get me wrong, I'm still on a 2-year contract, so really and truly, they shouldn't need to give me a new contract. But I think it was more just so we achieved so much the season just gone, and everyone else gets a contract, including the players that didn't play. But I played every game, every minute. and still didn't get a contract. So anyway, I go up, and so David said to me, 6 months and we give you a contract. I wasn't happy with that. He's not telling me the truth. I go back to Blackburn, and the manager there, he told me the truth. He was honest with me. He shook my hand. I could respect that. I can't respect someone that is not going to tell me the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Because I have a family, I have bills to pay, and I want to be the best I can without worrying about where I'm going to be in 6 months. So anyway, at that point, James Beattie came in, and what a great player he was. England A-team, first team. Southampton legend, but came in to replace me, to play one up front. James wasn't as quick as me, but technically gifted, great finisher. Again, like I said to you, when I came into the club, Duncan didn't speak to me for 2 to 3 weeks. We were in, I think it was Newmarket, on a weekend away with the boys, and James met us on the coach. James didn't get the team morale. He was quite flamboyant and quite confident, which is good. But once he knuckled down and found his place within the team, he realised that he had a space. I'm not going to speak for James, but I will say it from my point of view. I don't feel like James was best at playing one up front. That was my position. I would have liked to be given the chance with James and I to play up front, 2 up front, so we could both bounce off each other. Timmy played just behind. We could score goals together. So again, it all comes from frustration, anger. So at that point, it was, again, I was not playing. Sub coming on now and then. I think towards the end of the season, James started alongside Duncan Ferguson. And I got put on a sub. And I think we had 2 or 3 minutes to go. The ball got played up. I held it up, played it off to Dunk. Dunk span it over. I scored a top corner, sent Southampton down. Jamie Rendat always says it to me to this day. Anyway, so that was a pinnacle as well. I was very angry that game. James jumped on my back. I don't know whether you want to see that or you have seen that. But James is a good friend of mine. I don't hold any grudges towards any player that's taken my place, or it's about you working hard. Again, as I've said in other interviews, it's about you being honest, it's about you being humble. And if you're not going to work hard, then you don't have a place in your team or in your game or in your profession. It was just frustrating that I had to leave Everton, the biggest club that I've strived to get to after my journey. But there was light at the end of the tunnel. We had Kelly and I had our daughter Aaliyah, and Charlton came in for me, so we could head back down to London. Still had a house there, so it was nice for them, and I was excited as well. Again, I bucked up on Darren Bent, Darren Ambrose, Matt Holland.
The old boys all getting
old boys back
again.
Boys back again. Luke Young, who then went to Liverpool.
Great player.
Amazing player. Powley, who is now England second in charge. Jonathan Fortune. It was Kerbishley
there when you came in.
Kerbishley brought me in.
It was towards, because it was he obviously staple of the club for about 15 years.
He did, yeah.
Brilliant with the
brilliant.
club.
Yeah.
brought you in.
Yeah.
What was the sort of the mood when you joined?
I think the fans were on his back again. Sorry, not again. The fans were on his back. I'm going from past.
Do you think he was a victim of the success he's had in
I
past
think so.
seasons?
Yeah, I think so. I think they wanted him to do more. We weren't doing so well at the time. Again, I wasn't scoring goals. I wasn't doing what I should be doing. That came from, or I think it came from the transition from Everton. And at that time, baby mother and my daughter, we then split. So it was frustrating. And if anyone knows going through a split or a transition in your relationship, it can be stressful. So that was hard. I then spent a number of months there, a year or so there. And then
was it Les Reed?
Les Reed came in.
Kirbishley left.
Yeah, Les Reed came in.
Was there someone in before Les Reed?
No, it was Les. It was Les straight away.
Was Les Reed someone that you relished working under?
No, I didn't relish working under him. It's just he was someone that just came in to hold the fort before we got a manager in. So it was frustrating at the time because I wasn't scoring, because I wasn't doing well. And then we literally sacked Kirbishley, and then we're waiting for the new manager to come in. So it was a heightened point in my career. So where
From a player's point of view, do you think it was a bad decision to sack Kirbishley?
Sorry?
From a player's point of view, do you think it was a bad decision to sack Kirbishley?
You're asking me questions here. You. Me personally, I think it's. I think it was a bad decision. But as Kirbishley has said throughout his career, or from that point onwards, his mind wasn't in it, and he's not come back to football. So maybe it was the right decision. But me personally, having Kirbishley there, I hope, and I feel hindsight again might have been me going forward and again getting back into my swing of things.
No, Alan Pardew had some time there. Did you work under Alan Pardew?
I did, yeah.
How was that experience?
He was brilliant, actually. He was good. Again, another man manager. Spoke to you with respect. At that point, him coming in, Darren Bent was doing really well. Darren Ambrose, etc., etc. He did play me a number of times. I just wasn't playing well.
What did you put that reason down to?
Again, I don't like to make excuses. I just my mind, my personal life, and my relationship with football and relationship with family and girlfriend wasn't there. So again, you can go to football or go to work and forget about stuff and go back to it, but I just couldn't get my mind around it.
Deadline day, season-long loan to Wigan. Must have been exciting for yourself being involved in that deadline day. Will it happen, won't it happen saga? Can you talk us through it from the inside out?
Throughout pre-season, there was talks about me going, being loaned out. We'd gone down again. Pardew didn't want to let me go, and I was literally, he was just behind the dugout. See, I'm being real honest with you guys. I've never been this honest in my life when it comes to football. So anyway, I'm not even changed. I'm literally in my tracksuit, and Pardew's managing from the stands, and I literally went up beside him. I sat down beside him. I said, listen, I hear that Wigan's in for me. Please let me go. He said, son, if it makes sense, then I'll let you go. I said, Gaffer, please let me go. And I think he saw it in my eyes. I hope he did, because he had compassion and he had thought, and he was a good manager. And I think he saw it. And literally, we left the stadium, and within an hour, I was on my way up to Wigan with my agent. And Yeah. Was it a relief? Probably, because I wasn't playing at that point. But was it a relief that I had to move back up north again? I think I was happy about that. Got to Wigan, again, buck up on Emil Heskey.
Let's just talk about Emil Heskey a little bit.
Go on.
He often doesn't get the praise that he deserves. Everyone that's played with him says he's fantastic. His link-up play, his strength, his overall team play, his attitude. What do you think of him?
Emil Heskey is technically gifted. He can score a goal. Problem being is that without, let's just say, let's switch Michael Owen and Emil Heskey around. Is Michael Owen going to hold up a ball and put him into a path where Emil Heskey can score a goal? No. Don't get me wrong, Michael Owen is an amazing player. So is Robbie Fowler. So is a lot of the players that Emil Heskey's played alongside with. You are who you are. You are the player that you are. Again, me playing one up front. I didn't particularly want to play one up front, but I'd done it for the team. Now, Emil had to do that for England. He had to do it for Liverpool.
So he sacrificed his own game.
I feel like
for the team. That's what you get.
I feel so. But one thing I will put aside and one thing I will say is that don't think Emil Heskey is technically not gifted and can't score a goal. He's quick, he's passionate, he's fast. He could have been, or is, one of England's best strikers for me.
Marco Owen said that his favourite strike partner of all of them was Emil Heskey, without a doubt.
Myself. Don't get me wrong, I did say Dickoff earlier on. And again, people won't recognise Dickoff in the likes of Michael Owen and Emil Heskey. But what Dickoff did is that he worked his socks off and showed me a path and helped me to get to where I needed to get to.
Let's talk a little bit then about Steve Bruce coming in, Chris Hutchins leaving at Christmas. How did you get on with Steve Bruce initially?
Steve tried to sign me for Birmingham. I was at Charlton. He tried to sign me. I'm not going to go into figures, but it was big figures. He then pulled out. Didn't hear from him for a while. And then he comes into Wigan. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Again, a little bit like a Neil Warnock. Instills that confidence within you. I was then top English goal scorer in England at that point, on loan from Charlton to Wigan. Again, trying to get myself back on the pedestal. Not signed. The problem is when you're not signed, the signed players take the forefront. Well, not the forefront, but they take. The club has to look after the players that are signed. So Emil was injured at the point. He had to come back in. Played alongside him. I then scored against Blackburn, my old club, hat-trick.
I remember, hat-trick against Blackburn.
Yeah. We won 4-3 that day. And the player that played for Blackburn up front was, I can't remember, but scored a hat-trick as well. But because...
It's Santa Cruz.
Yeah,
it took me a minute.
Yeah, Santa Cruz. But he went to take the ball, and the team that wins, the guy that gets the hat trick, takes the ball. So I was like, nah, that's my ball. That's my ball.
So you and Santa Cruz are literally staring at each other, looking at this ball.
Well, he grabbed the ball, and listen, it wasn't going into fisticuffs. It was eye to eye. It was like you know the deal. So he passed it to me. So I got the match ball. It was hard actually playing against Blackburn, scoring the hat trick.
Yeah, what did it mean to you to obviously?
Well, it meant a lot to me, obviously, because I needed to get myself back up there. But again, playing for Blackburn, a team that I love and adore and is still in my heart, it's hard to play against teams and score. Palace, I could go on. I've scored against teams that I've played for and played against,
Bruce's man management good then? You'd compare him
brilliant.
to Warnock?
Yeah, really good. How do I say it? lost my confidence at the end of the season. He promised me a contract, swerved me.
You lost a little bit of respect for him over that.
Yeah. He shook my hand and promised me a contract. Now, in my day and age and how I'm brought up, if someone shakes your hand and gives you their word, that's how it is. It's a handshake. But in this day and age, you got to put your signature on a piece of paper, I suppose. But so I lost confidence over Steve Bruce. Now, again, if you're going to shake my hand or call me up, and I didn't hear from him afterwards, if you're going to call me up and say, I apologise, we need to go a different way, I'd put my hands up and I'd respect you for that.
What's your faith like in football at this time? I mean, you've moved around so many times. You're a specialist at packing up a gaff and having a medical done.
Right.
How do you?
I'm a specialist.
How do you then get the mentality again to go, look, we're going again next club?
I'm a specialist at packing my car up. Right? I swear to God, going into my flat, my house, wherever it be, dragging all my clothes down, my telly down, and getting it into a 4x4 and travelling to a different.
Do you think, oh, not again? Does that go through your mind?
I mean, at times it was like, shit, yeah, I'm rich, more money, etc., etc. But as you get older and see it for what it is, it's not. Don't get me wrong. Of course, it's for the money, and of course, it's for your family. But I think when you're just in that whirlwind of a career, I think you get caught up in it. You don't really know the bigger picture. You're just day by day, week by week, month by month, season by season, and just trying to do the best you can. And I used to call my agent up at the end of the season and go, what's happening now? You say, what do you mean, what's happening now? So I'd be on holiday, wherever it be. He'd say, what do you mean, what's happening now? I'd be like, am I moving? Am I being sold?
Because if you've moved that frequently,
that's what I mean.
You was expecting
I'm
something to
literally just,
mental.
it was just crazy. Occasion, I'd be there for that pre-season, and then I don't think I've been at a club for more than 2 seasons.
Is it hard when you, like you say, you get settled, you're getting used to your teammates, you're getting that trust? It took you 3 months.
Let's just throw the club out the window. Let's just throw your travelling out the window. You meet friends, you meet good friends, you meet acquaintances, you settle, and then, so again, forget the club, forget your career. You've met friends, you've moved to a different place. So be it London, Manchester, Blackburn, Newcastle, etc. And then you have to move again. It's frustrating. It can make you angry. It can make you question yourself. It can make you doubt yourself. Where'd you go from there? You literally sometimes have to just suppress them feelings and just go forward, move forward. And the only way to move forward is to say, I'm going to make some more money. I'm going to play for another team. Hopefully I can progress and stay at this club. It's frustrating.